All right, guys, this is Tuesday's program, phase 1. So what we're going to do with this one, we're going to do a 4-minute AMRAP, so as many rounds as possible inside of 4 minutes. They'll take a 1-minute break, and they'll do that same AMRAP for another 4 minutes. So it's really 8 minutes of work with a 1-minute break in between. The goal of the break is to help them recover so they can do 4 minutes hard and another 4 minutes at a pretty high intensity. If we go 8 straight minutes, we don't get the same intensity throughout. So then they'll have a 2-minute break after that to move on to the second set of stations. So this first circuit, we're going to be over here. We're going to have these boxes out. We don't want the big boxes that we're going to use for squats. We're going to have more of the lower boxes. So we have 3 of the boxes this style, and then we have 2 wooden boxes that we'll have out, 3 across here, 2 on the back side over there, okay? Our goal there is so we can modify all the progressions we need. The first exercise we're going to do is a dynamic step up. So, a dynamic step up we can do in the middle of the box because of how we have the boxes here. A dynamic step up, we're going to come up as high as we can, up and okay? Trying to get nice and high on each one. They're going to do 10 total on those. Some people are used to doing it on the corner as well. They're totally fine with doing it on the corner. I just like to be in the middle because there's less chance for it to tip over on that. From there, we can just do a lateral quick step over. So on this one, for the people that aren't so plyometric on this, they can come across here and just be a little bit quicker, or they can just step across. So it fits all plyometric levels on that. But that's just 10 total on there. Then we're going to do 10 on a rear foot elevated split squat. So let me see, I think it's 5 per leg. No, just 10 total, so 5 per leg. So what they're going to do, first variation is just put the foot back up on here. Get a nice little gap here. We're going to tall chest coming down as low as they can get away with. If they can get all the way to the ground, perfect. 1, 2. We're going to do 5, switch legs, 5 on the opposite side. Make it a little bit harder. We're going to plate load it today. The reason we're plate loading is because we're using all the dumbbells and kettlebells on the other side, so we do want them to be weight with the plate. Another option is if the plates are too heavy, they can always use a medicine ball instead and hold onto a medicine ball. So on this one, make it a little bit harder, same thing. Here, I'm going to hold onto my plate, up and down. From there, we can regress it to, I think it's an assisted split squat. So an assisted split squat, they can be over here, holding on, leg straight down, tall chest, up and down. You can obviously modify based on depth. If they're going down, but they can assist here. They can assist. I like to assist on the opposite side, so we call contralateral. So if they're going to move here, they'll be on this side instead of it being on the same side. This allows them to keep more stable, not too picky on that part. So that's going to be exercise number 2. So they'll have 10 total on one, 10 total on the next, and the third one is going to be stability ball leg curls. So we have these guys here. We're going to start with the ball tight to our butt, heels right in the middle of it. Drive our hips up, extend out, bring it back in. 1, 2, 3, and so forth. They're going to do 10 total of those. I'm ripping my hamstrings off of those. From there, our modification is some people are going to struggle to do that movement with the ball. So what we're going to have them do instead is take the sliders and do slider leg curls. Nathan, bring himself over here for me. So on this one, they just need to make sure they're on the turf in some capacity. So if they're doing their rest of workout over there, they might just have to have their sliders on the edge here. The people that are doing over there will just have their sliders on the other side. So we're here, hips up, all the way out. 1, drop your hips. Up, out, 2, drop your hips. Up, out, 3, drop your hips. All the way down, all the way for 10 total reps. People that still struggle with that, they can do a glute bridge march. So this is going to be your people that are pretty overweight, pretty heavy. They're going to be up in this position, hold that position. Bring one leg at a time. 1, 2, 3, 10 total glute bridge marches on that. Again, they'll go through that circuit as many rounds as they can inside of 4 minutes. 1 minute break, another 4 minutes of those. All right, guys, this is circuit number 2. Same thing, 4 minutes of work, 1 minute rest, another 4 minutes of the exact same exercise. So the first circuit, we smoked the legs. This circuit, we're smoking the upper body. What they're going to do is they're going to grab 2 dumbbells. We do want them to stay a little bit on the lighter side, or maybe a lot bit on the lighter side. Because when that upper body gets really smoked, it's gone. And you don't want to go, we want them to get through lots of rounds inside of this, so staying lighter is better. Females, probably like 10 to 15, are really strong females, maybe up to 20, but that's probably going to be very challenging for some of these. So probably that 10 to 15 range. For guys, 20 to 35, that 35 is going to be really pushing it, but that 20 to 30 position. They can use dumbbells or kettlebells for this, because we have the kettlebells that we do double on those, so we'll be able to use whatever we need on those. Exercise number 1 is going to be a chainsaw row. Chainsaw row is going to feel like the easiest of the exercises on this, but it will really add up as we go. So in that chainsaw row, we want a nice wide stance, elbow down on this leg here. We're going to grab a hold, we're going to pull all the way through, chainsaw all the way up to where it's pretty much in the armpit. Come back down so you got to touch. They do have to touch every time, okay? They'll do 5 on one side, switch sides the other way, same thing here. 5 all the way up, pulling through, okay? From there, if somebody really just can't do that bent over position, like this, they do have that brace with their arms, so they should be okay, but if they can't, we can always pull out a bench or a box, and they can use that for doing it, okay? From there, you'll keep your dumbbells, and you can go to a seated position. We're going to do a seated shoulder press. So the hardest variation is going to be with your legs straight. Okay, this really takes the ability to use any momentum out of the play. So we're here, we're pressing straight up and down. Same thing as usual with dumbbell presses. We want them to come over the ears and out. I do like the neutral grip more than the external grip on this one because it takes a lot of balance. So neutral grips helps control the base a little bit more, pressing up. We're going to do 10 of those. Modify, take those knees, tuck them a little bit because it's not as much pressure on the back. From there, and our last modification, this is if somebody has a shoulder issue, can't do it at all. They're going to take their band pull aparts. We're going to do the overhand version because the underhand is a little bit hard because of where we're at here. Overhand version, just pulling here. I still want them seated because we're trying to create that mobility position here. Working on that for 10 reps. The third exercise to this is going to be 15 dumbbell lying floor presses. Elbows not straight out to the side, more in that like 45-degree angle. Come down, pressing all the way up and down. Some people are going to find round 1 of that, all that there, easy. Maybe the shoulder press are a little tough, but the other 2 exercises feel easy. Tell them to stick with that same dumbbell the whole time. When they get through 8 minutes of it, then you'll be able to figure out how hard or easy it was. Especially for week 1, try to push them to do the same weight for the whole circuit. I guess here's Tuesday's finisher. This is going to be a core blast. We're going to try to blow up the core a little bit. So this first exercise, we're going to do a dumbbell or kettlebell or medicine ball. Any of those tools work fine. We like the dumbbell or kettlebell a little bit more because you'll be able to use that for the second exercise. What we're going to do on this one is we're going to take our kettlebell or dumbbell, we're going to press it straight up. We're going to get our back into a crunch position, right? So crunch, my eyes are still looking up straight, legs as long as possible, and we're going to do a leg lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 total, okay? From there, if that's a little bit too hard, that crunch position on that, same idea, unassisted. Now we're just not weighting it. 10 total. From there, so they still have some mobility issues, they're going to grab a band, and I would just recommend doing 10 on one leg, and then next round through catching the other leg. They can switch back and forth. That usually takes a little too long. I would just have them do 10 on one leg and then switch legs each round, okay? So that's going to be exercise number 1. Then they'll stand up with that same kettlebell or dumbbell that they had. We're going to have them do 20 side bends. So on a side bend, I'm going to have feet about shoulder width apart, come down right as close to the knee as we can get down to. Come up, squeeze hard, and just slightly go over. Come back. 2, slightly over. 3. They're going to do 20 on that side. The reason we chose 20 reps on one side is to make sure that they keep a little bit lighter weight so it works for both exercises, okay? So don't have them go crazy heavy. If they go up with 50, it's probably going to be a little too much for 20 side bends with those to go, okay? So they'll catch another 20 on the other side when they come back around. Then exercise number 3, is going to be a low plank spider turn. So this variation, I'm going to show you the middle variation will go either side of that. So push-up position, we're going to do a Spider-Man knee tuck. So we're going to tuck on the outside. So we have the tall here, out to the side. We're going to do 30 total, 15 per side. Make it a little bit harder. We go down that low plank position, tuck in from there. The reason that makes it a little bit harder is because they have to bring their knees out in that position. In the tall plank, they might turn them into mountain climbers a little bit more. Either one's fine. And our farthest variation is a mountain climber. So just in position here, under control. 30 total of those. It's going to be pretty tough. Let's keep going through that circuit for 4 minutes in week 1 to 2, 5 minutes week 3 to 4.